Hi, everyone, and welcome to this pre-recorded workshop of the Utah Tourism Conference. I'm Bianca Lyon, and I am the Community and Partner Relations Director for the Utah Office of Tourism. And joining me is Todd Skelton from TripAdvisor. And we're discussing more about how businesses and organizations can manage their listings on TripAdvisor and learn a little bit more about TripAdvisor's Travel Safe initiative. As the COVID-19 pandemic has affected travel, businesses are looking for ways to promote their safety measures and create consumer confidence. And Todd will be discussing TripAdvisor's program, Travel Safe Initiative, and we'll learn more about how that program aims to do just that. So I will turn the time over to Todd, but first I'll give you a little bit more information about him. Todd has been working for TripAdvisor for the past 9 years. As of 2017, he was promoted to the head of destination marketing for Western US and Canada. Based in Santa Cruz, California, he manages a team that works primarily with destination marketing organizations and nonprofit organizations. And prior to working at TripAdvisor, Todd worked for kayak.com as a Southeast key and key account sales manager, working with accounts such as United, JetBlue, Hotels.com, and Marriott. So Todd has a wealth of experience that he brings to the table, and I'm excited to engage this discussion with you, Todd, and learn more about the Travel Safe Initiative and sharing these really great resources for all those who are watching today. So I will turn the time over to you.
Excellent. Thanks, Bianca. Thanks for the intro. I'm Todd Skelton. I'll be sharing some really cool information, how to improve guest confidence with TripAdvisor's Travel Safe Initiative. Todd Skelton, worked with Utah for a number of years, and happy to be back and speaking to you guys. So with COVID-19 has really put businesses into a new way of thinking. Travel has been totally decimated, but we're starting to see a lot of light at the end of the tunnel. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with some research that we've conducted over this period from March until recently. With that, almost 6 months ago, the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a global pandemic. Governments across the world implemented lockdowns, travel halted, and consumers were left with uncertainty. Almost 6 months later, we're seeing positive signs of recovery across a number of markets. I'll highlight that recovery, but it's important to note that not all markets are in the same phase today. Some are still seeing spikes in cases, some experience them for the first time, and others are lifting lockdowns after months of restrictions. We're going to define 5 phases of recovery, review some trends in general, and we're going to see upticks in activity across North America, EMEA, APAC. South America, however, isn't, as many countries within are seeing increases in COVID-19 cases. So let's jump into the 5 phases of recovery. We're happy to say globally that decline is past us. That's a phase where travel came to a hard stop as governments mandated lockdowns. Some countries are still in the plateau phase, where consumers are staying indoors in an effort to flatten the curve. Emerge is the phase where lockdowns begin to ease and consumers visit local restaurants and businesses. We know that there was a shift to domestic travel first. So that's the first for people to travel. In the domestic phase, consumers will take local weekend trips, which I'm sure you're all seeing firsthand. We're currently seeing the road trips becoming more popular. And the last phase is international travel, which is likely not to happen until next year. This is where consumers will go abroad internationally for trips. After a sharp halt to travel when governments mandated shelter in place and travel restrictions, our traffic increased for 13 consecutive weeks, followed by a slight plateau in July. Traffic has continued to resume increasing through August. Domestic accommodation traffic has increased every month since restrictions began to ease in various markets. In August, domestic accommodation page views are up 23% versus July. The continued increase in domestic accommodation page views suggests that pent-up demand for travel. With our data is shorter trips to destinations closer to home with family as a recurring theme. We also see consumers turning to TripAdvisor to search for domestic attractions and ideas for local activities. Outdoor, nature, and parks account for 33% of attraction page views in August. While we began surveying our consumers, we find that they're looking for positive stories right now. They want to learn about the initiatives brands and destinations are taking on right now. And we see this because there's so much negativity in the press lately that people are really looking for the silver lining to what's going on with COVID and other things socially. So that positive story is being searched for hard and fast by consumers. What's important to consumers when selecting a travel destination, they want to see low numbers reported of COVID cases. Destinations with high engagement in hygiene and sanitation practices, and the area and the ability to avoid crowded places when they travel. What actions can accommodations, restaurants, and destinations take to increase cleanliness for consumers? An increased frequency of disinfection in high contact areas, cleanliness, sanitation certification, independent experts, and provide hand sanitizers, disinfectant wipes to each traveler, and publicly display cleaning and sanitation products. Now we're going to cover off on travel safety initiative. Safety has been top of mind for travelers. In a consumer sentiment survey that we conducted, 65% respondents will not travel until they see physical change that make them feel safer. 74% of travelers say a checklist of safety measures on TripAdvisor's listings would be very or extremely helpful to them. During the same survey, we asked, what actions can be taken to increase cleanliness for consumers? How important are the following health and safety considerations when deciding to book a travel experience? 82% want to see increased frequency in disinfection of high contact equipment. 76% want to see policies that encourage employees to stay home when sick. And 74% want to see staff wearing personal protective equipment like masks and gloves. We all know travelers want to see review information to make decisions. And 45% would like to filter and only display businesses meeting health and safety guidelines. 39% of travelers to be asked about safety and cleanliness standards when submitting a review of a business. 42% say travelers should be able to indicate the safety and sanitation measures a property is undertaking from a checklist. So now enter the TripAdvisor Travel Safety Initiative. On June 4th, 2020, we launched a new program dedicated to putting travelers' minds at ease while prioritizing safety and supporting our partners. We're leveraging expertise from World Health and Safety Organizations, compiled checklists that hotels or restaurants or attractions can use to share safety measures. Businesses that activate the checklist will benefit from listing page updates, search filters, and traveler reviews. And here's a sample of a hotel checklist, where a hotel can check off a number of these, where from contactless check-in and check-out, doctors on duty, to face masks required by guests when public areas. So a robust checklist that a hotel can select what they want to show, that they are taking measures to increase consumer confidence when visiting their business. But for now, while we wait for traveler rebound enough to begin collecting traveler sentiment, we'll rely on you, the business owners, to provide information for our travel community about what you're doing to keep them safe. We launched our first iteration with hotels and restaurants and just recently launched for attractions, as some of you have already know. Here's a sample of a hotel listing update, where you can see there's an icon there for keeping you safe during COVID-19. Click on that and it expands the checklist, and a note from the business where you can add extra information in there, detailing what you're taking advantage of, and also helping to give that consumer confidence when they're selecting your business. Here's how to search for filter in red and a traveler review to add more details around safety for a business they recently frequented. So again, more features there. We're able to add that safety initiative to Really build that consumer confidence. So when they're selecting your business, they can see you're taking the appropriate measures and make them feel safe when they come and frequent your business. Here's a sample of a restaurant checklist. Now this is similar to the hotel one, but slightly different, where you could have contactless payment, regular temperature checks for staff, face masks required for guests in public areas. All this is available for you to check of what you're taking advantage of. So again, to help that consumer feel confident. Again, restaurant examples you see similar to the hotel page. Users can see your checklist and added notes about safety. Again, when you look at where the review and the search filter, at the top there in red, COVID-19, restaurants taking safety measures, and then travel review, where travelers can write the review when they submit. They'll be asked a number of questions about your business. They can select, and that will also show in their review. And here's a sample of attraction experience checklist. Again, similar to the hotels and the restaurants. Talks about social distancing enforced throughout the experience, transportation vehicles regularly sanitized, face masks provided, floors marked for social distancing. Again, all different measures that you can select within your checklist and have added to your listing. Here's a listing page update. Again, similar to the other two, be able to click on keeping you safe during COVID-19, expand your checklist, and then your notes. Now, how can you take advantage of this feature? So accessing your management center, you go to tripadvisor.com/owners, log in or register to access your management center. Then you navigate over to the COVID-19 Response Center, add your safety measures and detailed response, click Share Safety Details. A note, in order to add your safety detail information, you must be a registered, verified representative of your property. If you're not verified, or if you need to be re-verified, the page will provide instructions on how to do this. Step 3, add your safety measures and detailed response. Be sure to fill out both the safety measures and detailed response sections. Now we have some best practices for doing this. For one, select safety measures that apply to your business. Be sure to select the selections are accurate to your property set guest expectations. 2, use free-form text box to provide more details. Include links to more information on your website or blog or third-party standards. 3, update information regularly. Travelers are very interested in the latest information, so we've added a date stamp to this section. Be sure to add updates as you work to comply with the latest regulations and guidelines. And the opportunity is to partner with TripAdvisor with this free opportunity to rebuild traveler confidence and help them feel comfortable about planning their next trip. Position your business as a safe option to discerning travelers seeking reassurance, and leverage, reach, and scale of TripAdvisor to highlight your business practices to travelers searching your destination. And 4, take this time to update your listing. Update recent amenities, add updated photos, respond to reviews, and answer questions. Once you know who your travelers are, you can begin building plans around them to appeal to them. Have guests tell your story. Make review collection a priority. Use review collection tools to help remind guests to write reviews. So in closing, with the research that we went over, we're seeing trips are shorter distance and length, are trending. Visible signs of cleanliness are important to travelers. The Travel Safety Initiative, accessing your management center, share safety details, add detailed safety responses, and update your listing. With that, I say thank you and look forward to answering any questions.
This has all been super interesting, Todd. Thank you so much. A lot of your information on these regional trips and the interest from the consumer to have more outdoor experiences, being out in the outdoors. We're definitely noticing that. We're seeing that demand. We're certainly, I think, in a competitive advantage to being a great road trip destination. And I know that many of those who are watching today are experiencing that, and that will continue to be the case for the next, year or maybe longer. So I appreciate all these insights. And the importance of consumer confidence right now is can't be understated. As a relatively new member of our Office of Tourism team, and starting during the pandemic and during this economic this difficult economic time, it's something that I've been hearing about a lot, and I think this is a great tool to help put businesses on the right path. So thank you so much. So it sounds like the travel safe features are free. Is that correct?
Yeah, they're all free. So you can take advantage not only of those features, but take ownership of your listing. So if you don't have ownership of your free listing in TripAdvisor, you go to tripadvisor.com/owners and you're able to do that free of charge. And that opens a treasure trove of resources that go beyond just the Travel Safe initiative for you to better put your better foot forward with your listing on TripAdvisor, with all the different features from photos, adding amenities. Those are all just to help you represent yourself well on TripAdvisor.
Mm-hmm. How quickly should a business be responding to a review? Is there a best practice there?
Yeah, there's, it just depends on how many reviews they're getting. In some instances, you respond with them within a week. So others are getting a lot of review content coming in within that week. The ones you really want to pay attention to are the negative ones. And those are the ones you're going to want to respond to quickly. As they say, is that one rotten apple can spoil the bushel. You definitely want to go in there, and even if it's one that you feel could possibly be fraudulent, definitely respond to it. And then in the background, you can flag that for us to then investigate. But you definitely want to make sure you're responding to the negative ones quite quickly.
That's great. And my own experience managing a TripAdvisor listing, you've always been really responsive in managing those. And so it's good to know that, there is someone who receives those requests, those inquiries. So if you do have a listing review that is inaccurate or unfair in some way, that TripAdvisor will work to remedy that if that is the case. So how does someone access that Safe Traveler feature? It seems like from what you showed us, it's fairly easy, and it will take you through that process pretty easily.
Yep. So through your management center, so once you sign up and take ownership of your listing, you go to your management center. Within there, it's detailed of your COVID resources, your travel safety initiative resources you're able to click on, and then it'll step-by-step take you through what you need to do to update that and where you could add your information.
Have you experienced, or I don't know if you can say anecdotally, if businesses who have gone through, entered in their safety measures, have gone through the TripAdvisor management process, are they, does that give them a competitive advantage? Does that benefit them? I mean, are they able to track demonstrated success from participating?
I think right now we'll definitely see, since we have a number of consumers that are indicating they see travel safety to help them, kind of mitigate that concern with booking that next travel, you're going to see those businesses definitely benefit from that. And so ones that aren't taking advantage of it versus ones that are, there's also a mix of people that how they feel about, the travel safety right now. We still have that constituent. They're traveling no matter what. And then you have the other group that really want to make sure that if they're going to go and travel, is it going to be safe for them and their family? So you're going to see a little bit of an advantage out there because of the people that are looking to, as they're looking to plan travel, and there's that pent up demand. There's a lot of research being going on and being conducted right now on TripAdvisor for when things do loosen up and when they're going to go. And those that are highlighting the safety measures are really going to bode well with those consumers that are looking for that type of information.
Mm-hmm. So how does a business promote that their travel safe? Are you promoting this through its own kind of brand that is linked with TripAdvisor? And how can businesses then say, yes, I'm participating in the program? Are there decals they can put on their window or something they can put on their website?
Yes, those are coming. With TripAdvisor, we're always looking to help promote businesses with the stickers. Has been a very, very well-received program that we've done. And I know that we're looking to do something similar to that. with, you know, their own listings, I mean, a business can speak to, you know, they're promoting that on TripAdvisor and directing people to their listing on TripAdvisor than to see their checklist. So there's nothing wrong with a business promoting that on their website where they can take the HTML code and have their listing and link back to TripAdvisor where then they can see all those details.
That's great. And I think part of this is also feeding that content so that if a guest does have a good experience, that your check-in staff person or you know, your hospitality, you know, team member is then encouraging the guests, you know, that would really support us and help us. If you had a good experience, share that with TripAdvisor, making sure that that we're sharing, that we're following all of our protocols, and then, you know, giving that assurance to future travelers.
Totally. And, you know, and with that instance, it also gives opportunity. So when you know, your frontline personnel are engaging with that consumer and asking them, hey, if you had a great experience, would you mind writing a review? That's also extending, you know, that invite to feed in any negative experience, and then gives you that opportunity to rectify that right then and there, versus not seeing anything the guests leave. And then, you know, as travel can be, you know, getting to and from, whether it's the cab ride or the airline, you know, that can impact you even more and make that one small thing become really big. And then when they get home to write that review, again, your frontline staff, you know, making that extension to the consumer and asking them if they had a great time. And again, you're opening it up for some dialogue to happen, you know, if there was anything negative, and then gives you that chance to rectify it.
That's great. And if businesses are going, you know, above and beyond even the standards that you have provided, they can certainly, you know, make those changes. So if Marriott has its own set of safety measures that they're following, that they can certainly, you know, put that out there to say, we're following the Marriott, you know, business practice for safety and you know, preparedness. And they can go above and beyond what you have already detailed in the travel safe requirements.
That's correct. So within the notes section, they can put links in there and show what they're doing that goes beyond, you know, our checklist.
That's great. That's wonderful. Well, Todd, thank you so much for reviewing this program with us. We'll make sure to share the PowerPoint presentation that you provided today to make sure that everyone can see that. And then where can people reach you if they have questions?
If they have any questions, you know, feel free to reach out. You know, my email address is tskelton@tripadvisor.com. And yeah, if you have any issues, you guys can, you know, more than happy to reach out to me. As I wouldn't be, you know, your rep, I could definitely put you in touch with, you know, the people that can help you, whether you're a restaurant, attraction, or a hotel.
That's great. And there's just no time better than now to be really on top of your listing and making sure that that information is accurate, and that you as business owners are promoting all the great things that you're doing to keep customers safe and to keep our industry going. So thank you so much, Todd. We appreciate it. And we will be hopefully having future discussions with you. And in the meantime, thank you so much and stay safe.
No problem. Thank you.